I think a lot of people are feeling very disheartened to see a current of right-wing, libertarian, neoliberalism, all sorts of nasty kind of economic policies that disadvantage workers.
Besides, work together as a community to build a better life for our children, for our mokopuna, and for future generations to come, and also for the current generation.
But primarily the reason that I care about the climate and about climate justice is the people.
Great. We are again sitting this lovely, calm, and having chat with the people in a different subject corridors. And today, right now, I have two young people who are amazed, and we will find their story in the corridor we will have today. Stay with us, guys. Welcome to Voice of Aroha podcast. How are you today?
I'm great, thank you.
Doing good, doing good.
Awesome. Would you we will start first. Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name's Joshua. I host a radio show. I'm part of ACSC, Aotearoa Climate Strike Coalition. Just a bunch of climate activism, and a lot of other activism as well. Students, worker, all the good stuff.
Nice.
Kia ora. My name is Aurora. I'm based in Ōtautahi, Christchurch, and I'm an organiser for School Strike for Climate. I'm Tifa Ōtautahi. I do some feminist mahi, some mahi around Palestinian liberation. Got my finger in all sorts of pies, but it's good to be here today.
Yeah, we use that metaphor a lot, the finger and pie one. I'm from Te Papaoea. I'm from Te Papaoea, Palmerston North. Sorry.
No, welcome, guys. I see a lot of passion here. Before we go into that one, I'm interested to ask, so what do you do in that radio? What kind of topics you talk?
Oh, I do all sorts of stuff. So we're on every Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Can I look at the camera?
Yep, absolutely.
99.4 radio control every Monday, 10 till 12, or you can look it up online, radiocontrol.org.nz. And we talk all sorts of topics from activism, just general leftistness, unions, all sorts of things, workers' rights, yeah.
Nice. Okay, great. Awesome to hear that. So going to that, I want to first ask you both of you same questions about, so what inspired you to come to this camp? So what's your why? Why you guys think to attend this?
I think it's really important for us as progressive people in all different spaces to feel a sense of community and solidarity. After the last election, I think a lot of people are feeling very disheartened to see a current of right-wing, libertarian, neoliberalism, all sorts of nasty kind of economic policies that disadvantage workers and ordinary New Zealanders coming to the surface. All kinds of divisive, racist rhetoric against Māori and immigrants coming to the surface, and a win for the people who are pushing that kind of nasty, unpleasant rhetoric. And so I think it's really important that we as progressives who care about our communities, who care about the environment, to come together and actually say, we are here, all across the motu, we are here, we're not going anywhere, and we're going to push back against this government, and we're going to create our own communities that are going to be stronger for this difficulty.
Yeah,
Tautoko.
absolutely. So you feel that with the current political situation in Aotearoa, New Zealand, how hopeful you are, guys?
I'm very hopeful that the community will stand up. I'm not very hopeful that the government is going to do their part, because it doesn't seem like they're not going to with this current government. And with successive ones, we don't know.
Okay, that's interesting, because I think when we have a problem, we always then unite the community to come up with a solution, right? So maybe do you think that this is our opportunity for all people to start unite, think about those subjects that it matter to our future?
Absolutely. Jinx.
Oh, I can't speak now.
That's awesome. So going to that, one of the main current, if we call it issue or we call it opportunity to solve it actually before it become an issue, is the climate change. It's happening, it's seeing stuff. First, can you talk to me about around your passion around this topic? Why? What's your why? And the second thing, what will be your thoughts on current policies that we are seeing that this government around the climate?
For me, my passion for the climate it does come from a love of nature and for our natural environment. But primarily the reason that I care about the climate and about climate justice is the people.
Yeah.
It's about the communities who are going to be experiencing extreme weather events and already have, the people who lost their livelihoods and even their lives, their loved ones in the floods in Auckland, in disasters all over the world, in the floods in Pakistan, in the heat wave that went across Europe and killed so many people. I think there's a tendency to talk about climate change like it's an issue just for greenies.
Yeah, just for like woke lifters.
Yeah,
who live in like Auckland or Wellington.
Yeah, people who
when actually
it's impacting marginalized people the most. It's impacting migrant communities, it's impacting workers, people who are struggling to get by the worst. And if we care about those people and we care about our communities, we need to push really strongly for climate justice, to reduce emissions and to build communities that can handle the storm that's coming.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, I get asked sometimes, like, why do I do activism in terms of this? And I don't really see there being like another option, you know? It's like, it's this or what? Or there's nothing else we can do besides, you know, work together as a community to build a better life for our children, for our mokopuna, and for future generations to come, and also for the current generations.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I totally agree with your conversations, Mark. And how you see your perspective on the current governments again around the climate specifically? How, again, if I use the word of hopeful on what direction they will take us?
I'm very disappointed in their very liberal view of it. Not liberal in the very neoliberal view of it, that they're just taking the market will do its thing. It's like, no, the market, we've been doing that for the past like 300 years. The market's not been doing its thing. We need intervention. We need government intervention, but we need the right kind of government intervention to save us from extinction. We need community intervention.
Yeah. I don't feel hopeful at all that this coalition government is going to deal with it. And we can see with the policies that they've released so urgently already that the things that they are prioritising is actually economic growth for the rich. It's not growth for average New Zealanders, it's growth for the
tax
rich.
breaks for landlords.
Landlords,
CEOs.
owners, CEOs, they're cronies, essentially, they're friends. And you can see that in the whole host of environmental legislation that they've been putting out.
Environmental. It's not even environmental.
Anti-environmental legislation, from the repeal on the oil and gas ban that they're going to try and push through, which will shoot our emissions up and keep us reliant on fossil fuels for longer, to their repealing of protected wetland legislation, to their scrapping light rail projects and public transport. It's really clear that they don't care about just the average people who want to use bikes and buses and walking to get around. They care about their rich mates who want to drive their SUVs at full speed down the road.
Yeah. So you know, on their side, they may say. So will be interesting. We'll hear your thoughts about it. We are always seeing their arguments about freedom of speech or freedom of a different opinion, right? Right now we have this political parties in the governments. So as an activist or what are your thoughts on a community to do in this time? While we have this coalition in the government, but we have still people who are passionate about climate change. What kind of things you think they need to do and keep doing, not giving their hope?
We need to organize, we need to strategize, we need to energize, and we need to mobilize.
Here we go.
That was very catchy. I love it.
I stole it from somebody, but I'm not telling.
We've got to realize that this government in particular, and just generally previous and probably successive governments, do not care fundamentally about our individual people and our individual communities. And so it is us that have to do the work. We need to gather together in our local communities and figure out how we can support those who are struggling. And that comes in all sorts of forms. It could be joining an environmental organisation and getting protesting on these issues, or joining your local chapter of Palestine
Joining
solidarity.
your union.
Joining your union, talking to your workmates about unionizing, starting a local community garden to feed people who can't afford to feed themselves. It's about coming together at this time. And it's the hardest thing to do when there is so much pressure from
When everyone's telling
work.
you
Yeah.
our whole economic system is designed to split us up.
Yeah.
It's designed so that workers and the people at the bottom are separated apart and that we don't organize and act together.
Yeah.
Just doing that is an act of rebellion.
Our time is so filled with so much intense work, and we're so tired from all of the stuff we have to do to keep up in this modern life. It's so strenuous, but we have to push through and make that time to make this world and these local communities a better place.
Yeah, absolutely. Love that corridor. Great. So we are coming. I know it's a short time to do this podcast, but the topic is so big, so deep, so we can go a lot on it. But for the final questions, I would love to hear what will be your message to the people, audience, young people, or anyone who's seeing this or hearing this through the radio and YouTube. So the mic is for you, and you can give your message to the people.
Hey, young people, you know more than you think you do, and the things that you think about justice and about solidarity and are right. Don't let adults and don't let the people in power tell you that you're stupid or that you don't know what you're talking about or you're idealistic. You have a vision for the future, and that is fair, and you should join the groups of other people who think like you, and you should come into organizations and let's work together and make our communities a better place. Let's get radical.
I love it. Let's get a high five for that on camera. Woo. That's really awesome.
And on a practical level, there's a school strike for climate. Aotearoa is rising on April the 5th, and we want your help organizing, so flick us a message on Instagram on School Strike for Climate
we'll be tagged on here.
We'll be tagged. But also just come out to your protests. Come out to the feminist protests, the Palestine protests, the workers' rights protests, the fertility protests. We'll see you there, and we want to get connected with you.
Awesome. You have a message as well?
My message is that we should remember that this whole system is designed to stop people like us. It's designed against people like us. It's designed to, the only thing it's designed to do is to filter wealth to the top. It's not designed for any of this.
Bars.
So that when we do this, when we're organizing, when we're joining unions, when we're joining community groups, we're joining tenants unions, this is all an act of rebellion against the current capitalist system, which is destroying us. It's destroying our livelihoods. It's destroying the planet, and it's destroying our community.
Awesome. Beautiful corridor, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate
you.
your time
Thanks
for
for
this
having us
little
on.
podcast. Thank you. Cheers.